Hi there. In this clip, we're going to be talking about how to enable the waiting room in a Zoom meeting, and then how the waiting room functions once you're in the context of a Zoom meeting. The first thing you're going to want to do is make sure you have the waiting room enabled when you schedule your meeting. I'm currently in my profile here in my Zoom account, so I'm going to go to the upper right-hand corner to schedule a meeting. I'll click that, and then about 2/3 of the way down, I have meeting options, and one of those options is this enable waiting room checkbox. So make sure you check enable waiting room and click save when you are first scheduling your meeting. And here we are in the Zoom host pane. I can tell because when I move my cursor over this screen, my toolbar appears. Let me pull up the participants pane really quickly with a click, and it shows up here in the upper right-hand corner, though I can move this around. And right away here, we can see that we have two people in our waiting room, Jeff and Dwight Gooden, and then here I am in the meeting by myself as the host. So they are waiting to be admitted. Before I show you how to admit them, what I'd like to show you how to do next is two options on how to enable your waiting room on the fly after you already started your meeting. One way to enable your waiting room on the fly after you've started your meeting or as you're waiting for your meeting to begin is to go to the security button here on your toolbar, click it, and choose Enable Waiting Room. And this enables the waiting room. I can also do it here in the participants pane. If I go to the three dots here that gives me more options, I can enable my waiting room using this option as well. I'm disabling it now, and then I can re-enable it with that command. So I have two people up here in my waiting room now, ready to be admitted to my meeting. Let's say I don't know exactly who they are, and I want to learn a little more about them before I admit them into my meeting. I have a bit of a blunt instrument to do this with, and that's the chat pane. If I bring up my chat pane by clicking it here on my toolbar, it shows up in my main window, and under my two in who I'm chatting to, I have everyone in the waiting room and everyone in my meeting. So if I choose everyone in the waiting room, I can't address them individually, but I can ask them as one, who are you, what's your email address, do you belong to CSU Extension, yada, 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 and determine if they are safe to let into my meeting. Once I've determined that, I go up here to the participants pane. I can admit everybody at once who's in the waiting room using the admit all option, or I can admit them one at a time. Here I'll admit Dwight Gooden, and then only Jeff is left in the waiting room, so I'll admit him next. Now, if I change my mind and I want somebody to go back into the waiting room, I can do that as well, simply by hovering over their name, clicking more, and choosing Put in Waiting Room. One last quick note, and we'll call it a day. If you have waiting room enabled and someone signs into your Zoom session, they're going to get something similar to this message. The default text that Zoom gives them while they're in the waiting room is, "Please wait, the meeting host will let you in soon," followed by the name of your meeting room. Now you can personalize this message for your own meeting, and you do that in the Zoom web interface. We are now in my Zoom profile. I can tell from the upper left-hand corner. So let's go to Settings. And we're going to go to In Meeting Advanced. You can also just scroll down to get there. And our waiting room options are right here. We can first have it take all our participants who are signing in or our guest participants only. And then I can customize the title, logo, and description using this editing option right here. So I can change this text. I can change the meeting topic and add a logo here if I like. And I can add a waiting room description here if I like. So those are all options to personalize that waiting room intro screen that they encounter when they first sign into your meeting.